Healing the hearts of estranged parents, the Porch Light, a Christ-centered meditation for hope, boundaries, and living with uncertainty by Karyn, Lynn Grant, LMT, the Joy Coach. I'm so happy that you're here. We're nearing the end of our journey. And today we will stop and rest and relax along the way. Your child may not yet have come home to you. They might not yet have received you. And that's okay in this moment. It's time to take a slow, deep breath in and gently exhale. Letting your back and shoulders, arms and hands begin to soften and sink into this space. Letting your hips and thighs and legs relax. Even your toes and fingers. There's nowhere you need to go, nobody you need to call. Nothing you need to solve and nothing you need to force. There's nothing you need to figure out. For these next few moments, simply allow yourself to rest here. Take another slow breath. Breathing in trust. Breathing out fear. Inhaling hope and exhaling worry. Now imagine yourself standing at the edge of a quiet country path at twilight. The sun has just slipped below the horizon. The sky glows with soft shades of orange and gold, lavender and darkening blue. A gentle evening breeze rustles through the trees. The world feels peaceful, still, and quiet. Ahead, you notice a beautiful cottage. Perhaps it is a cottage that you drew with your crayons on your pages when you were a little child. One glowing with windows and tiny curtains, with a tree outside and flowers lining the path. Flowers bloom beside the walkway. The porch is inviting. And beside the front door glows one single glowing porch light. The light is steady and gentle, faithful and inviting. You walk towards the cottage. With every step, you become aware of all that you have carried, all the waiting, the wondering, the hoping, the day after day disappointment, the prayers answered with peace, the unanswered questions still looming quietly under the surface. And then there is that longing and that ever-present grief that rolls in and out like an ocean's ebb and flow. You have waded through birthdays, through holidays, perhaps through seasons, maybe even through years, perhaps decades. Sometimes you have felt your heart filled with courage. Sometimes you have fought back the tears. And sometimes you have done both at the same time. As you approach the porch, you notice someone sitting quietly in a rocking chair. It is Christ. He's waiting, not anxiously, not impatiently, simply present, simply loving. His eyes meet yours, and immediately you recognize that feeling of divine familiarity, and you feel understood. He knows every chapter. He remembers them all. He remembers every phone call, every unanswered message, every prayer, every tear, every gift you've ever given that was never acknowledged. He understands that too. He even understands and cherishes the hope that you have continued to carry because you have a loving heart. You sit beside him in the other rocking chair, and the rocking chairs move gently in unison. The porch light glows above you, and for a few moments neither of you speak as you look out into the sky at the moonlight. And somehow, sitting with him, even in the silence itself, feels so healing. He whispers, "Take a deep breath." And you take a slow breath in. Gently, you exhale. Eventually, you look down the road. The road disappears into the distance. You can see it winding through hills and trees. You cannot see where it ends. You cannot see who is walking upon it. You cannot see what tomorrow may bring. And quietly you whisper, "Lord, I don't know how this story is going to end." Your words feel honest, and you feel safe speaking them to him because your thoughts and your feelings are sacred and true. Christ follows your gaze down the road. Then he looks up at the porch light and softly says, "You may leave the light on without standing at the window." You pause, allowing those words to settle deeply in your heart. For so long you have believed that waiting required vigilance, watching, monitoring, holding your breath, counting the days on the calendar, keeping your life suspended until something changes, until that familiar shadow emerges. Yet Christ gently continues. Leaving the light on is an act of love, but standing frozen at the window is an act of fear and disbelief. Tears begin to gather because part of you knows exactly what he means. Perhaps you have been postponing joy, postponing your own dreams, postponing new adventures, postponing peace. As you have waited, waiting for reconciliation, waiting for certainty, waiting for answers. Christ reaches over and gently takes your hand and asks, "Beloved one, what if your life is still worthy of being lived in the moment? What if joy is still allowed? What if laughter is still holy? What if peace is still possible?" You look toward the cottage, and suddenly you begin noticing things you had overlooked. The garden is still blooming. The bluebirds are still nesting in your pine tree. Wind chimes sway softly in the breeze. The windows glow warmly. Life is still happening here. And the porch light remains on. But the house is not standing still. Christ smiles and he says, "The light may remain on, but your life does not have to remain on hold." A deep breath begins filling your lungs, and something inside begins loosening the tightness in your chest. You realize that healing does not mean forgetting your own path. Healing does not mean giving up your own journey. Healing does not mean closing your heart to the others who need and want and are willing to receive your love. Healing means continuing to live, continuing to grow, continuing to trust, even while the story remains unfinished. As you sit there, Christ invites you to look further down the road one more time. But this time, something is different. You are no longer scanning for signs. You are no longer searching for evidence. You are no longer trying to fathom, figure out, or predict the future. You simply offer a blessing. You hear yourself echoing, "May you be safe, my child. May you be guided in all your ways. May you know you are loved as you travel your own journey. May healing find you. May grace surround you. May God walk beside you. May He lend angels to your path." The blessing drifts down the road like a gentle breeze. You can almost see it whispering along its way. No attachment, no demands, no expectations of any specific outcome. Simply love. Pause. The stars begin twinkling overhead. One by one, the sky continues to grow darker, and yet the porch light continues shining even brighter. Steady, warm, faithful. Christ leans forward. He places his arm around your shoulders, softly says, "Hope is not waiting for certainty. Hope is trusting me in uncertainty." Again, he says, "Faith is not knowing how this story will end. Faith is knowing who walks this road with you." You feel tears upon your cheeks, but these are not tears of despair. These are tears of quiet recognition and release. Because for perhaps the first time, you realize that God loves your child even more than you do. And He is also waiting for your child to come home. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what you do not know. He walks roads with your child that you cannot walk. He reaches places in your child's heart that you cannot reach. The burdens begin lifting, not because the story is resolved, but because it no longer rests solely upon your shoulders. Christ stands and invites you to walk with him, but only part way, as he has a journey to take too. Together you step off the porch, not down the road, not back to your former life, former thoughts, and former feelings, but forward towards your purpose in this trial, toward your own healing in this journey, toward your unfinished dreams, toward the people who still need your light. Before leaving, you glance back once more. The porch light remains glowing in the darkness, not as a symbol of grief, not as a symbol of waiting, but as a symbol of love, quiet assurance, steady faithfulness, an open heart. Take a slow breath in, breathing in trust, and gently exhale, breathing out all the fear, breathing in as much faith as you can hold, breathing out uncertainty, breathing in hope, breathing out the need to know, breathing in peace that passeth understanding. As you continue walking beside Christ, his whisper utters one final promise. Trust me with a road you cannot see. Trust me with those hearts that you cannot change. Trust me with the chapters that you cannot write by yourself. I'm already there. I am the author and finisher of your faith. Carry this truth with you. You may leave the porch light on and go about your living. Live fully, love wholly, and still find peace. Have hope while you heal. For the one who loves your child beyond measure walks beside both of you, and grace is lighting the way. When you are ready, take a deep breath in, inhaling peace, knowing you are not alone, and neither is your child.